Hello. I want to talk about abundance today. Abundance is something that there's a lot of interest in now, how to have abundance in your life. What is abundance? How do you define it for yourself? Is it a lot of material things that you have surrounding you? Is it a lot of love in your life? Is it getting what you want? Real abundance is more about a state of mind than about things. A state of mind of contentment. Contentment with what you have and what your life is. Maharishi teaches that the self, the absolute, the unbounded, unmanifest, eternal state of wholeness that underlies the created world is bliss consciousness. This is another expression he uses to describe this state of the self, bliss consciousness. When you transcend in your meditation practice, you experience the self. You experience bliss consciousness. This experience transforms your mind and physiology when you return to waking, dreaming, sleeping experience of the relative field. Transforms it by infusing it such that you have more bliss, more contentment in your life. Interestingly enough, this infusion of the self, of bliss consciousness, not only brings more contentment, it also brings more support from natural law to fulfill your desires. You have more bliss consciousness in your mind and physiology, and your desires naturally go more into the direction of evolution. Evolution for you and evolution for all of creation. These desires get more support from natural law. So by doing your practice of meditation and infusing your mind and physiology with bliss consciousness, you gain more contentment and you gain more from the fulfillment of your desires. When you are established in the self or bliss consciousness, as will happen when you've had enough experiences of the self in your meditation practice, then you gain even more support of natural law for the fulfillment of your desires, and your desires are no longer binding. The fruits of action from those desires no longer leave impressions deep enough in your mind to formulate new desires. So that wheel of karma is broken and you are now free. No more future karma will be created. Naturally, living in this state, which is the first stage of enlightenment, one begins to have the desire for God consciousness, devotion to the Lord, and the desire for knowledge of the Lord naturally lead one to God consciousness, that unifying of the self or bliss consciousness, which used to be separate from waking, sleeping, or dreaming states of consciousness, separate from the relative field. Now the self, the whole relative field of creation, both are united in the Lord, in the experience of the Lord, where your mind knows the Lord and your senses perceive the Lord, and your heart is full of love for the Lord, living God consciousness. This is the goal of human life, and we all will have it in one of our lifetimes, and this is real abundance. So do your practices, and may you have abundance in your life. Thank you, beloved Guru. All glory be to thee.